Hello there. In this video I kind of wanted to include a section where I talk about, what I talked in therapy. I'm not gonna do a whole section of everything that's going through in my life, obviously, but I kind of wanted to talk to you about something. My belief of feeling not enough. And, if that resonates with you, maybe you can stick around or just skip it, I don't know. So ever since I started therapy last year, the biggest thing that we have been talking about was me not feeling enough in every, topic, in every section of my life. I was feeling not enough. I was not letting myself fail, so I wouldn't start anything. Making a mistake was just out of the table, and I couldn't deal with uncertainties. I have been, having issues with my relationships, and overall I felt like probably all throughout my life, which I am just aware of it now, but I felt like I don't belong and I should hide, I suck, and so we have been talking about that constantly, how I have this belief that I'm not enough. And my therapist told me in our last session that no belief would just exist for no reason. There's a reason why you have that belief. That belief has a purpose. Or had a purpose back then when you chose to believe it. And I was like, how could that have a purpose? I was just made to feel that way. And, people in my life when I was a kid, some traumas that I went through, circumstances, everything kind of made me feel that way. And I believed in it. And I went through all my life feeling like that. So I was like, what is the purpose? There's no purpose. I just... I have that, and that's it. I have to go through life with that belief. She said that maybe, when you were going through all of that hardship when you were a kid, maybe it made sense to believe in that. Maybe there was a reason with your kid's mind, it made sense. And then we had this 10 to 20 minutes of silence where I have just tried to understand, tried to really look deep how I chose to maybe believe in that. And, all of my issues mostly turn back to when I was 9 when my parents split up. And, I had a kind of an unstable childhood where they were divorced when I was 9, but then they would, tried to stay together for me and my brother. So every year we would sometimes move in with my dad, or we would go back to our house with my mom. So it was just not stable at all, and there was just so much change and uncertainty. And my therapist told me that maybe you thought that it was you were the reason why they separated, and maybe you felt abandoned. I did felt abandoned by my dad. I wasn't. My dad just went off to live with his brother, but I thought he left me, he left us. So maybe I thought it was I who was responsible for their failed marriage, our separated family, the reason that my dad left. I felt responsible. And maybe in order not to feel responsible or try to fix it, I just told myself that I'm not capable of fixing this. I am not, my abilities are not enough. I am not enough to fix this. And now it kind of makes sense. I was really disassociated. And those periods in my life, I don't really remember. Maybe I chose that as a survival mechanism, but maybe I also chose to believe that I was not enough to fix my family as a survival mechanism. Maybe at that moment it was kind of one thing that saved me, that belief. But I was a kid, and obviously I didn't know if I needed to believe that in just that moment. So I believed in that all my life. 15 years after, here I am, and that belief is like really firmly fixed, like really deep rooted in there. But that shows me that I chose to believe in that. I am not a victim in this scenario. My parents were not, evil people, or like circumstances, things that happened to me, I am not a victim in this situation. I chose to believe in that as a 9-year-old, I cannot rationalize that. I needed to believe in that at that moment. And I noticed how kind of sticking to this belief helped me throughout my life. It helped me because if I thought I was not enough to do something, I didn't have to do it. I could just stay in my comfort zone forever. Maybe I would feel a little guilt, but I guess I thought that was tolerable. That was acceptable. I didn't have to do anything because I was not enough. I couldn't do it, so I didn't do it. But there was this something that I wanted to do, I wanted to make art, I wanted to make videos, I wanted to, learn how to draw, illustrate, and just be involved in this art world. But it required a lot of hard work. So I postponed it. I delayed it for years. And I always thought, I can't do it. I'm not enough. So there I am. Right now I'm realizing, it made sense to believe in that. Maybe it was as a kid that kind of hold me back for not trying to fix my parents' marriage because it was not my responsibility. But then it kind of, put me in this comfort zone where everything just felt convenient not to do. So here I am, and this shows me that, oh crap, I need to now do things. I need to now get out of my comfort zone, and it is all my responsibility. I am no longer a victim. And now I don't choose to feel not enough. Or I will, I'm, day by day try to change that belief, because that belief has been with me for 15 years. It's not just gonna go like this, but, knowing that I did that gives me back my power. I don't feel helpless anymore. So, yeah, this is a video sharing my experience, yes, but it could also help you. You might have other types of beliefs where you're maybe suffering from. Maybe you're saying, why am I feeling like this? Why do I have to live this kind of a miserable life? Maybe think, maybe it had a purpose when you first chose to believe in that. Our mind works in mysterious ways, really. And, our mind tries to protect us from something. It sees it as a dangerous thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something that we need to kind of work through, but it just sees it as a danger, And my mind saw uncertain situations, making a mistake or failing, saw it as dangerous situations. So it did everything, that it can to keep me away from it. It's not healthy, but it makes sense why I thought that way. So it's just kind of so brilliant to kind of go deep, be aware, and understand your freakishly mysterious mind. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking through to this moment if you did. I really appreciate you. I hope it makes sense or even maybe help you. Thank you for being here.